I made a video before on stuff I'd like to see in a sequel for Tomodachi Life, and this is going to be kind of like a sequel to that. I suppose I'll link the original video in the description, but keep in mind in there that I'm very mumbly and sad sack sounding since I wasn't really speaking up enough yet. Anyway, I just saw the direct for Tomodachi Life Living the Dream yesterday, and I gotta say, I am actually really eager to try that game out, despite the fact that I don't feel like I have the proper time to put into that type of game anymore. I actually really want to play this because it is, like, reaching my expectations pretty well and has a lot of ideas that I didn't even think of. So, firstly, like, all the customization stuff for not only your me, but the island itself just looks super wild and something that you can spend a really, really ridiculously long amount of time and personalization and details on. Like, you could probably make most of the game just doing stuff like that. And it has a feature that might end up being even better than the makeup feature that was in Metopia, potentially. Like, that's really cool and stuff that, like, I hadn't even considered at the time. Like, that's just, like, a really, really cool thing. Also, Mii's being roommates with each other is another neat, exciting thing that, again, I didn't even consider. So, huge props to that. Now, for stuff that I have and haven't seen yet that I mentioned in my video where I was talking about what I want to see in a sequel. So, first of all, yes, your Miis can be gay as shit. The set relationship dating preferences in there is a really nice, simple way to do it, and I'm really happy to have that, and I'm probably just gonna throw canon away and just make whatever characters I put to the island all pan and just have them go fucking nuts and see what wild-ass relationships I cause on there. It'll be hilarious, and the fact that there's an NB option is also really cool. Like, I'm probably not going to use it much depending on who I add to my island, but for players who will use that and are going to make themselves who are that, that's a very nice thing to have and should just be a norm from here on out. Like, seeing this stuff is the first time I've seen news both in and outside of the game industry in, like, the past 5 years that's actually, like, lifted my mood and hasn't just given me even more reason to mercifully off myself from this world soon, even if this might delay it for a bit. Anyway, so something that I said in my original video that I didn't see here, though, is I said I'd want to have the ability to set pre-established relationships with the Miis as you make them if one's already related to another. And the reason why I had that issue is because in my file for Life on the 3DS, I had a problem where I made Crumb and Lucina, and Crumb constantly wanted to friggin' get with Lucina. For anybody who doesn't know, they're father and daughter. And that was, Crumb, no, I'm not adding him in this game, probably. I don't think any of the characters I'm going to add in this game, if I get it, are going to be, like, related already, so it's not a problem that I'm going to probably run into or care about, so I don't mind if it's absent. But, you know, I'm sure other people would probably want that, and if it's a thing, I don't know, not the end of the world for me, though, if it's not. Otherwise, I said that I would want them to just change or remove the stuff that was either tedious or broken on 3DS. And a lot of those problems with, like, weird functions and stuff come from them just trying to use the gimmicks on the 3DS. Obviously, Switch isn't going to have those problems, so, you know, that's not a thing that I even really need to think of since it doesn't use the same gimmicks. And based on what we've seen and how you cheer up Miis, it does seem like that they're taking a different approach that might feel a bit less tedious after a while. And relating that, something that I mentioned was babies. So yeah, it is confirmed. You can see it in the trailer that there are babies in the game again. And my issue is that after a while, it becomes really, really intrusive. Like, because not only can they just start having them, like, so often to the point where I turn them off, but the other issue was that whenever, like, there's an event relating to one of the kids, or, like, a minigame for it, then they interrupt you, everything that you're doing, for calling you on the phone, to be like, excuse me, and I hope that's not really as much of a problem in this. Like, again, if they just, I don't really want to say simplify things, because I don't want them to, like, take away, like, depth and complexity and stuff of this, like, even in a game like this, but it is something that, like, I just hope that they can find a way to make things, like, less annoying and tedious, and without introducing a bunch of new things that have that problem, right? Animal Crossing, oh yeah, another thing that I have to say is really nice and refreshing is the fact that this is not a 2 exclusive, and it's not nearly $100, if I can continue to compliment that. It's absurd how that's something that I need to compliment, but it's true, which is all the more reason why I would want to get this game over others. But aside from that, a worry that I had in the original video is that it's something that was really personal, and it's something that I feel stronger about now than I did when I first recorded that, even is that it's hard to get, like, a bit real or depressing, but if you compare, like, the world to when Tomodachi Life came out to now, it's a lot more cynical and unwelcoming and just disobeying shit, and I was worried that, like, that kind of would, like, muck into the game itself and kind of just ruin the nice, like, happy-go-lucky, like, getaway optimistic attitude that Tomodachi Life has. And based on what I've seen so far, fortunately, it seems like that won't be an issue in this game. It seems very nice and uplifting and wholesome and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm hoping this will be really enjoyable depending on what I can put into it. Also, in my video, I complained about how in Tomodachi Life, how there's the punishment whenever the clock changes, where it won't cause events to happen or, like, new stuff to spawn for 24 hours, and I hate that. And I'm hoping this isn't an issue, and it's not just for, like, daylight savings, because who the fuck cares about that anymore, but as I said earlier, how I want this game, despite the fact that I don't feel I have the proper time to put into it much anymore. I am probably only going to really be able to play this game, like, not always on the clock, just, like, during certain parts of the day, during the same parts of the day. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to, like, play at a time where I could see, like, the Miis have dreams and stuff like that. So if I ever wanted to time travel, like with Animal Crossing, then I'm hoping I can just do that if it comes to it and not have, like, the game, like, have any sort of punishment for that. And, you know, just hope that's, like, understanding with the way this game is being designed and all that junk. Now, speaking of dreams, something that I didn't really address in that original video, but I want to say that we've seen only a little bit of from this game so far, is the funny, trippy weirdness of it from just random events and stuff like dreams and stuff. I hope they go all in on the weird. Like, please have fun. Have me think, what the fuck was that? What the fuck is going on? Just go full blown on stupid, please. Let's have fun. Like, let's be fantastical with this while I have all of my stupid gay little animals running around and all that jazz. Oh yeah, also the pets feature is another thing I didn't consider. That seems really funny and cool. So another thing, good on that. I'm so happy that I'm actually eager to see what more is in this game. And I'm also really anticipating to see what Vinny does with this game. Get ready to see Sponge have romantic fantasies about freaking Grey Leno or something like that. It's gonna be awesome. But that's mostly what comes to mind. The game looks good. I'm very glad to be saying that. And I hope it does live up to its expectations. And I hope everybody watching this will enjoy it too. And there's my ramblings. Thanks for taking the time to listen to it. See you then.